Good day, beautiful people. Welcome in. Appreciate you. Today we're gonna make something positive out of something negative, and that's taking a look at how the lack of support in your life is really powerful, useful thing, and if you have too much support and you're too coddled, how you could possibly get out of that. So, welcome in, fam. Much love, Chef here. And by the way, if that sounds interesting to you, just think a little bit about your life, look a little bit about the support structures you have in your life, and find a way to look on the brighter side of things and make things a little bit better. If that sounds interesting to you, then hit the thumbs up button. It's not clickbait. It's not I'm not going to be arguing or yelling at you. We're just sort of an interesting conversation we're going to have here as we take the dog for a walk on the farm in the morning. So, what sparked this for me is speaking with a new client who I'm not going to share any details other than it's a situation where having too much support, too much parental support, is actually a problem. Where if your parents you can always fall back on them financially, you can always stay with them, they'll always give you money if you need it, then it can prevent you from fully developing because you don't have to, right? You don't have to figure your finances out. You don't have to make yourself secure because you can always fall back. So what can happen in those situations, and this happens to people who inherit money too young. It happens to people who parents are just a little bit, there's nothing wrong with the parents doing this, but we're going to go and talk to parenting as well. But maybe you can relate to that. On the flip side, and let me share with you from my experience, I talk about my trauma sometimes. When I was 25 and I hit my lowest point, I lost my job, I was reputationally damaged, didn't have a whole lot of money in the bank, lost my income, and told my parents, hey, I didn't even ask for help, but I let them know the situation I was in. And they said, no, we're not going to help you. We're not going to give you any money, and you can't stay with us. You're old enough now, you got to figure this out on your own. And at the time, I was like, man, my parents rejected me at the time I needed them the most. They let me down at the time I needed them the most. Right. I gotta take her so we don't go by the chickens, because she's been chasing the chickens, as you've been seeing. Hey, Nolani, this way. Come on. Good girl. But what happened is I figured it out. What ended up happening is, I figured it out by myself. I created security for myself. I got help by people, and obviously there's society, there's humans, there's friendship. Come on, there's God. Like, I didn't create everything, but I found in me a self-resiliency where now I feel like, because of that, I feel like I'm a bird on a branch, and the branch could break, and if the branch could break, I could just fly off, right? You've got wings now. You don't fear the branch breaking anymore. So maybe you can relate to that, and I'll tell you, if you don't have the family support, if you don't have a lot of help, the benefit of that is you're going to gain a lot of self-resiliency. It's going to force you to figure your shit out by yourself. that's really going to be really beneficial to you. That's going to be really powerful and really useful. And from the parenting perspective, I think what we can learn from this is at a certain point, when your child hits adulthood, it's probably for the best to just push them out in the world and say, I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to support you anymore. You're grown. You have to figure it out for yourself. Because when your parents are coddling you and you're not really building security for yourself, you're also not building security to have your own kids, to have your own family, right? So when as a parent we say, hey, you need to go out into the world, you got to figure your own shit out so that also you'll be able to figure out how to provide for yourself first, then figure out how to provide for your own family. And that's what really parents we want to see is they want grandkids, we want grandkids, right? Grandbabies. Nobody's mad about grandbabies. Okay. So what if you're in the position where you're sort of coddled though? That's tough because it's hard to get off the teat. It's really hard to get off the teat, but I think what you gotta realize though is that it feels like you might have support, but the support you're receiving is actually pretty limited. Because okay, if your parents can support you financially, if they can give you a place to stay, yes, they're doing something for you, but they can't provide you the ability for you to develop yourself. They can't provide you with the ability to be the man in your own life, to be the man in your relationships. And I'm speaking to men specifically here, but this applies to women too. But to be, this is more for men, and to be the man in the house. So it might seem like you're cool, you don't really need to do anything, but if you realize that the support you're getting is actually pretty limited, and it's and restricting, it can allow you to accept the support when it comes, but not rely on it. Grow up, expand, extend, move out, do more, invite, create, grow. So yeah, I think that's just something interesting where you can see where the grass is always greener, where it's like, man, I wish my parents had more money or could have supported me in a certain way, where it's like, actually, well, that bred resiliency in you. And then on the other hand, it's like, I wish I had been a little pushed more, independent from my parents. Well, you got support. It's saved you from stressing in your life. So there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer about what to do as a parent, and there's not necessarily a better way to be raised. There's pros and cons, and you're going to develop differently. So I hope that just sheds a little insight on your own life, and again, nothing too flashy here, nothing too clickbait. But if that sounds interesting to you, then please please hit the thumbs up. Please comment down below. Please let me know what you think. Okay, appreciate you. Much love, and talk to you soon. Okay, peace out, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. And every thumbs up is a pet for Nalani. Okay, much love, peace.